Stop trying to do this alone. If you've got a big idea inside you, you can't do this alone. You need people around you to help you, to encourage you, to support you, to cover your weaknesses, to help you actually go off and accomplish that big dream of yours. This is one of the biggest things that I think holds people back, holds entrepreneurs back, is you're probably decently good at the thing that you want to do. You know, you've had some experience, or you've gone and learned and figured it out, and you slowly get better as you keep practicing and keep going and doing more. And maybe at some point you even did try to hire somebody. Maybe at some point you did try to bring somebody on and it didn't work out. Didn't work out. And here's where everybody makes the mistake. You retreat and go back to say, you know what? It was just a lot faster when I did it myself. Has that happened? Has that happened to you? Ever been there? You hired somebody. You thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to hire somebody. You do it. It doesn't work out. And then you go back to say, I'm just going to do this all myself. No. No. That is not the answer. That is not the answer. That's like if you go on one date and it doesn't work out. Now you're never going to go on another date again. You're never going to be married. Right? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You're living in fear as opposed to actually trying to build the thing that you're capable of building. Here's what happens. When you first hire somebody, you don't know what you're doing. Right? It's like when you first did anything, you don't know what you're doing. So why do you expect to be great at picking the right person and then treating them well and then managing them well? You don't know what you're doing. There's a guy in my movement makers who joined my Discord as well. And he was talking about how he had hired his second video editor and it didn't work out. And he had to let the person go. So he's hired 2 video editors. Both of them couldn't get his style and he had to let them go. And he's going back to editing everything himself. Now, as a short-term solution, great. Like, stuff has to get up, videos have to be edited, get them out. But don't stop searching just because you had 2 failed hires, right? Like, if you tomorrow are editing videos, awesome. But if you next year are still editing your videos, not awesome. Nope, not awesome, not anymore, right? This is how we start to raise our standards. And so the first 2 people that you hired weren't good fits. Great. Keep searching. Keep looking. Your perfect fit is out there. And as you go through some people and go through the process, you'll get better at actually finding the right person. You know, you'll get better at it. Don't judge yourself that say, well, I suck at this. I can't hire. I'm never going to find the person. It's just faster to do it myself. Right? There's that old expression. You can go fast by yourself, but you go far with a team. You have to build a team. So let's talk about how to do it, okay? Let's talk about steps, practical steps, building a team, creating a culture. Someone who now has 37 people on the team. I'm not Jeff Bezos with, I don't know how many thousands of people on his team, but 37 on our team right now. How do you go from starting up to that? Step number 1 is figure out what is the most important skill that you need that has to get done in the business that you suck at, okay? And you don't want to get better at. What do you suck at that has to get done in the business? Not something that, you know, maybe it's a nice to have, but like it has to get done in the business. You suck at it. And not just you suck at it right now, you never want to get better at it. You're just not interested in it. Some people love this thing and you hate it and you never want to get better at it. What is that thing? That's the first person you need to bring on into your business. It could be part-time. It definitely should not be a full-time person. Here's why. 1, you don't know how to hire yet. 2, it's going to take you too long to be able to save up the money to hire somebody full-time. And 3, you're not used to managing people. So you want a part-time person. When I first started, I had interns. I had interns from high school who were helping me do a lot of the things that I need to get done. And it was part of their school credit. Nina is back! I did foreign language interns, so people came to Toronto as part of their education, being from a different country, learning English and getting job experience. You find people. I've had people volunteer to join. I've had people work 1 hour a day to join, right? Just like you need to start getting some people involved because it makes you feel like you're not alone doing this, which is a big deal. And it also starts building some traction, starts finally getting some of the things off your plate that you wish didn't exist anymore. And suddenly now they don't because somebody else is taking care of it, right? Step number 2 is you have to start asking for help. This is a big problem for a lot of entrepreneurs. You're afraid to ask for help. At the startup phase especially, like, well, what if they steal my idea? It's one of the most common questions. Have you ever felt that? What if I tell somebody my idea and they steal it, they go with it? Well, it's possible. It's possible. Very low possibility. Most people are running their own business. The amount of people who've come to me and say, Evan, I'd love your help on this, but I need you to sign this NDA, non-disclosure agreement. It's like, I don't care about your idea. I have my own business to run. I've got my own channels, my own team, my own things to worry about. I'm not gonna, they think the top priority is you have some great idea that I'm gonna then take and run with, that's now my new business plan. No, and now you missed the chance to actually get some feedback and help. So you have to share your idea. The idea alone is not enough. It's the execution that really matters. So it's not just the idea that you've got, it's can you be the one to go off and create it, to make it, to birth it, to turn it into reality. And speed matters. Have you ever seen anybody with your idea, right? Air quotes, your idea, go off and win while you were still sitting on the sidelines? Right? I've seen it happen so many times. I've had so many people message me about it. It's like, I had this idea 3 years ago and I didn't do it. And now here's this person off making millions off of it. Well, what's the difference? Chances are they had less heart than you, less of a drive to do good, less caring than you. So why are they winning? Well, because they started and they asked for help and you were trying to do it all by yourself. So you have to share your idea. You have to recruit people on board. You have to ask for help because those people can make the difference between you actually following through on your goals. And then step 3 is you have to mentor the people on your team. You have to care about them as humans. The next big mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make when they're hiring is, okay, this person's gonna come on, they're gonna take all the stuff off my plate so I can focus on being the CEO and then everything's gonna be great. And that's a nice theory, that kind of happens, but what you want to think about is, this is a human working with you. This is a human who's got goals and their own ambitions and their own dreams, and your job should be to help them grow as a human, that they should be better as a person by spending time with you, by being around you, and by being in your company. Most people treat people like robots. They treat them like monkeys. Okay, get this done, get that done, perfect, gone. You made my life easier, awesome, that's what you're hired to do, go do your job. Where people make the mistake of is 1, not giving enough training at the beginning. Like, did you actually set somebody up for success? And the 2, just not caring about them enough as a human. I'm actually starting to find it harder as I grow. It was a lot easier when I had 1 to 5 people on the team. But at 37, I don't know what everybody's up to. I don't remember everybody's projects. I'm not in as much of the day-to-day of what they're doing. I find it hard to balance everybody's goals and just stay on top of their life. And I don't know what it's going to look like when we're at 50 people or 75 people or 100 people. I don't know what that process looks like. I'm figuring it out. You know what? I got to ask for help as I grow. But 2 of the things that I've done that have worked out pretty well. The first is, I dedicate Mondays to team days. So I have an entire day of the week that's dedicated to team. And so I'm spending that day on Zoom calls or in person, meeting with team, asking them what's going on, helping them with their projects, and just spending time with them. And so people know that on Mondays when they save all their stuff and talk to me about it. Scheduling in time for team matters. So I have different things for different days of the week. Today's a Tuesday because I'm recording, so recording is Tuesday. But yesterday was Monday, and I was spending the whole time basically on Zoom calls with team. The second thing that I'll do is a quarterly check-in with people. And we don't even talk about the business. Usually do it on a Sunday, so it's not a work day. It's a Sunday morning coffee. Every Sunday I'm spending with someone on my team. So Sunday morning, I grab my coffee, they grab whatever drink they want, and we do a session together. And we'll touch on business, we'll touch on what they're doing, but not operationally focused. Not, hey, you didn't get this thing done, or hey, how are we doing on this project? It's more like, where do you want to go with your life? What are you curious about? What are you loving about the work that you're doing here? How can I help you get to the next step? What else are you curious about? What are your other goals? Just a life conversation. And you'd be surprised at what comes out. And most people, all they really need is just somebody to listen to them and care. And sometimes action happens immediately after. Sometimes it happens, the next month or the next quarter. But when you know the hopes, the goals, the dreams, the ambitions of the people on your team, the people around you, it allows you to be a much better and much more effective leader. So we took you through this, the process of startup, zero, team, all the way to now, how do you manage, your first 37 at least people in your company. But underpinning all of this is the understanding that you can't do this alone. You have a great idea inside you. You have to share it. You have to get it out there. You have to start trusting people. You have to learn the skills of hiring and managing and delegating. Because if you don't start talking to people, if you don't start bringing people on, then that great idea dies inside you. And then you're going to look back in 5 years and find somebody who went off and made millions off of your idea. Don't let that happen.
If you want another Evan Rant video that just might give you the confidence you need, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Great ideas flow through you. Teach yourself, train yourself that great ideas are flowing through you, that the idea that you just came up with, that you've been thinking of, that doesn't make any sense,